up next, months after a protest turned violent, controversy continues over a Penn State professor. Now, a rally supporting him.
Plus, Pennsylvania's new plan to invest in electric vehicles.
This is really happening. This is the direction of the future of cars and transportation generally, I think.
And an NFL star and former Nittany Lion gives back to his Pennsylvania hometown. The Center County Report starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Chip DeFalco.
And I'm Brooke Stake. Thanks for joining us for the Center County Report. A coalition of student, faculty, and community organizations is speaking out on the case of a Penn State professor. They claim the university is mishandling the case of Oliver Baker, who faced criminal charges and now may be fired. Jenna Hugel has the latest.
A coalition of student, faculty, and community organizers continue to demand change from Penn State University's administration about the treatment of Dr. Oliver Baker. On Thursday, this crowd rallied at Old Main Lawn to express their disapproval with the AC 70 dismissal procedure.
They're using abusing and manipulating the AC 70 process to repress a scholar activist who has been proven innocent in the court of law.
Dr. Oliver Baker, an assistant professor of English and African American Studies, was found not guilty in November by a district judge. 2 other charges were dropped. Despite those results, he continues to be on administrative leave following a physical altercation during an August vaccine mandate rally. This isn't the first time that faculty and staff have gathered to make their voices heard. Their calls to actions point to a larger picture.
I find it appalling that Penn State continues to protect a racist and a rapist that is a student here living in the dorms amongst other students.
In addition to supporting Dr. Baker, supporters like Ann say that the administration's handling of this case promotes an environment that lacks accountability. Organizers say they sent President Eric Barron an invitation to speak on behalf of the administration, but he was not present at the rally. From University Park, I'm Jenna Hugel for the Center County Report.
Baker remains on administrative leave from the university.
Monday is the last day to register for Pennsylvania's primary election, which is now less than 3 weeks away. This week, the leading Republican candidates for the U.S. Senate primary met in a debate in Harrisburg. Charles Reinert has the highlights.
5 U.S. Senate candidates met in Harrisburg to debate before the primary election on May 17th. Among them, hedge fund CEO David McCormick, former President Trump Ambassador Carla Sands, and TV doctor Mehmet Oz, who recently won former President Trump's endorsement. Oz's competitors took the opportunity to take shots at him throughout the evening.
And this is where Mehmet Oz cracks me up, because I hear all his statements about COVID now, and this is a guy who on national television said the Chinese were doing a great job with COVID lockdown.
He did.
Who complimented Anthony Fauci as a great scientist and a great leader.
He did.
And who was the guy who was out there saying mask up.
Oz fought back and used Trump's endorsement to his advantage.
Dishonest Dave is at it again. He went groveling to President Trump with, again, these types of allegations. President Trump saw right through him, did not endorse him, and then he endorsed me.
The candidates are all fighting for Senator Pat Toomey's position in the Senate. He'll retire at the end of his current term. This race's outcome is crucial if Republicans want a chance to win the majority in the Senate come November. In State College, I'm Charles Reinert for the Center County Report.
Also in Harrisburg this week, the leading Republican candidates for the governor's primary also debated. Election Day is May 17th.
Plans for a 1 million square foot warehouse in Benner Township now appear to be dead. The e-commerce distribution warehouse at Benner Commerce Park could have meant up to 700 new jobs for the area. But the developer Suncap Property Group withdrew its plan this week. It's not saying why. But another business will open soon. The Planet Fitness franchise is opening a second gym in State College. The new location will be in the former H&M store on South Fraser Street. Officials say construction work for the gym is underway. An opening date hasn't been announced yet. The new gym will join the other Planet Fitness located in the Nittany Mall.
I am excited. I work at the mall, so this location is closer on days when I work, but the new location is going to be closer to where I live, so it'll be really convenient not to have to drive so far.
And yet another new business is now open in State College. A Sephora just opened this week in the Coles on Colonnade Boulevard. The Sephora was set to open today, but opened early on Monday. The store within a store sells beauty products ranging from makeup, skincare, hair, to perfume. Customers are already visiting the new location.
I'm at Sephora right now because I'm so excited to open State College. I've bought all my makeup here for years, so now I don't have to worry about stocking up at home.
This State College location is the first Sephora retailer in Center County.
With worries about sky-high gas prices and climate change, many people are thinking it might be time to invest in something new, an electric car. Reporter Casey Zanowick explains the new plans to expand electric car usage in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania is set to invest millions of federal and state dollars into electric cars over the next few years.
At some point, we decided you can't build a building without hot water for everybody. Well, I think we're at the point where we need to decide you can't build a building without access to electricity for a car.
The Electric Vehicle Association says big changes are coming. The nonprofit educates and advocates for the adoption of so-called EVs. The state is expected to receive over $170 million as part of the Biden administration's recently passed infrastructure bill. The money will fill gaps in a national network of electric car charging stations. There are more than 23,000 electric cars registered in Pennsylvania, but spotty charging access is a big roadblock for potential buyers. PennDOT's policy director, Natasha Fackler, says it's important to make sure the infrastructure to support the cars is set up.
Even if you think about today's, war in Ukraine and some of that, and you can see, how that impacts our reliance on other countries for fuel and those types of things, making sure that we as a country have options for mobility.
Electric cars have numerous benefits. Not only do they save people money, but they help save the environment. With many electric vehicle chargers being built across the country, it's becoming the perfect time to make the switch from gas to electric.
The funding is focused on charging station build-out along highways, but it won't be long before public spaces and neighborhoods become a priority.
This is really happening. This is the direction of the future of cars and transportation generally, I think.
In State College, I'm Casey Zanowick for the Center County Report.
Pennsylvania could also get a piece of the $2.5 billion discretionary grant funding that the federal government has set aside for alternative fueling infrastructure.
A Penn State end-of-year tradition is back and fully in person today. We'll check in live next.
Plus, would it ever warm up? The weekend forecast is coming up. Also coming up, we take a look at how a Penn State icon affects generations long after they take off the lion head.
Penn State's Movin' On Music Festival returns fully in person to campus this year, and the event kicks off this afternoon. Brittany Bennett is live at the University Park IM Fields to tell us more.
Movin' On will take place for the first time in person in 2 years. As a student-run, it's the 5th largest student-run music festival in the country, celebrating its 45th year. It's not only celebrating an anniversary, but it's celebrating all the graduating students who are moving on in their life. Headlining the event is Jack Harlow with openers Amen, Fits in the Tantrums, and the Aces. Last year's festival was held virtually due to the coronavirus and completely canceled in 2020. This year's concert is hosted as part of the Penn State's class of 2020 commencement celebration. Attendees must have a valid government-issued ID or a Penn State ID. The gates open at 3:30 this afternoon. Live in University Park, I'm Brittany Bennett for the Center County Report.
Thanks, Brittany. Speaking of Penn State traditions, the Nittany Lion just celebrated his 118th birthday. We talked with some previous Nittany Lion mascots about the impact of the role on them and the community. Paige Baruto reports.
The Nittany Lion has been a Penn State icon for over a century, just celebrating his 118th birthday. The Lion has brought smiles and Penn State pride to fans at football games and other events throughout the years. Zach Soa was the Nittany Lion from 2017 till 2020.
Huge honor. Honestly, pretty unbelievable. Being the 52nd in an absolutely unbelievable lineage is a huge honor. And they've built the character into what it is today.
Andy Bailey wore the lion costume in the 70s.
Representing, Penn State, and representing all the good, that Penn State, has to offer. Great pride, in the university. They see the lion, they smile, they have a good feeling about the university.
Even though Bailey and Soa were mascots decades apart, both still recognize and treat the lion as...
It's known as a symbol of our best.
It means a symbol of our best.
Whether on the field, in the BJC, or on campus, the Nittany Lions legend continues to grow. In University Park, I'm Paige Baruto for the Center County Report.
A beautiful day here today in State College. Not a cloud in sight as we take a look at our live cam of the Beaver Stadium. So much sunshine today. It's a beautiful day. We did start out with a pretty chilly morning this morning, but as the day moves on, we're starting to warm up a little bit out there. Right now we're sitting at 52 degrees, so we're starting to move up into the 50s. Later today we'll be creeping into the 60s. And if we take a look at the temperatures in our region, mid to upper 50s in central Pennsylvania. And as we take a broader view at the state, a little bit cooler up in the northwest, 49 degrees in Erie. And as always, a little bit warmer in the city, 56 degrees down in Philadelphia. Now, if we take a look at our radar and satellite, like I said, a beautiful day out here today. Not too much going on, not a cloud in sight, but if we take a broader view at our map, we do see we have this system over here stemming from the west and making its way over into our region. We'll be seeing some of the effects of that on Sunday. So if we take a look at this future cast, beautiful today and tomorrow, but we're going to start seeing some of that precipitation moving in on Sunday, so let's take a closer look at that and when we can expect some of that precipitation. So later in the afternoon on Sunday around 4 or 5 o'clock, we're going to start seeing the first hit of that precipitation in State College, and as the evening progresses, we're going to be seeing some spotty and scattered showers in State College. Nothing I would change my plans for, but definitely something to look out for. Now, if we take a look overall for today, beautiful. Sunshine, sunny skies, 61 degrees for our high. And tonight we're going to be getting a little bit cooler out there. We're going to fall back to 32 degrees, but still a cool and calm evening tonight. Now, tomorrow we're warming up even more, 66 degrees tomorrow, and that sunshine is going to stick with us tomorrow. We might see a few clouds in the later evening tomorrow, but overall a wonderful day to look forward to tomorrow. Now, if we take a look at our 7-day forecast, like I said, beautiful today and tomorrow. We're going to be seeing a lot of sunshine. However, like I said, that rain is going to creep in. We might see a few showers, some spotty showers on Wednesday, clearing up again Monday and Tuesday, another round of that precipitation, and we're going to be warming up a little bit into next week. We're going to be seeing some 60s and low 70s even, so definitely some of that spring-like weather to look forward to. I'm excited for those warmer temperatures.
No, that's so great to hear. Me too. You know, with the school year coming to an end, I'm looking forward to that summer weather.
I'm sure we're all excited, including all those spring sports teams out there. Speaking of, here's Eric Fenstermaker with sports.
Thanks, Chip. Coming up, breaking news involving Penn State athletics. Plus, an NFL star and former Penn State standout giving back to his hometown community in Central PA. And 2 local high school baseball teams going in very different directions. We hear more about how they're doing on the Diamond. I'm Eric Fenstermaker with sports. We begin with breaking news. Within the last hour, Penn State has introduced its new athletic director to replace Sandy Barber. Patrick Kraft comes from Boston College, where he also served as AD. He's worked at Temple, Loyola, and Indiana. He described his philosophy for the job at a news conference.
We will focus on the total mind, body, and spirit. When you do that right, you win.
Kraft's base salary is $750,000 a year, with added compensation of $500,000 starting this year. He starts July 1st. Also today, the Nittany Lions have a new alum in the NFL. Wide receiver Jahan Dotson was taken 16th overall last night in the first round of the NFL draft by the Washington Commanders. He set multiple records at Penn State and finished his career tied second all-time in receptions and receiving touchdowns. Rounds 2 and 3 of the draft are today, and more Nittany Lions are expected to hear their names called. You can listen to the coverage live on Penn State Com Radio with our team in Las Vegas. Penn State football star and NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year Micah Parsons made a stop at a special place in his hometown yesterday, the Salvation Army. Reporter Brooke Stake was there.
Micah Parsons returned to his central Pennsylvania home this week, and among his stops, the Salvation Army in Harrisburg. Yesterday, the former Penn State football star answered questions with kids before receiving a Dallas Cowboys football signed by all of them. To Parsons, returning to his roots means more than being an NFL football star.
I believe everyone has potential. Not everyone has to be a football player or athletic person. That's why we have great doctors, we have great nurses. I mean, everyone is special at something. We just got to find this.
His message was for them to look to the future.
The kids is the future. You know, I'm just part of one of the people that just came through this town and blessed and lucky enough to have a lot of success. But the kids is the future, and that's where our hope aligns that, you know, they need to head into the right direction.
Parsons was NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Cowboys, but he also wants to be remembered for his contributions off the field.
I want to say the kids to know that, you know, I'm a real honest, genuine, caring person that comes back. You know, if one person comes back, I always believe in energy. Positive energy is so contagious, and when you give out good energy into the world, it latches on to people.
The Pro Bowl linebacker hasn't forgotten where he grew up. In Harrisburg, I'm Brooke Stake for the Center County Report.
Parsons was honored last night with the Celebration of Potential Award by the Salvation Army in Hershey. The Nittany Lions return to Medler Field tonight to take on the Omaha Mavericks for a 3-game homestand. Penn State is coming off a win at West Virginia on Wednesday. The Blue and White's last home game ended in an 8-7 loss against Bucknell. The Bison had 3 multi-run innings, including 3 runs in both the first and third innings. Before Tuesday, Penn State had won 30 of its last 31 games against the Bison. First pitch tonight is at 6 p.m. State College Baseball has 8 games left in the season, but the Little Lions are riding a 4-game losing streak after falling to Redland yesterday. They'll play Phillipsburg Osceola tomorrow. We checked in on the Little Lions on Tuesday as they lost to Mifflin County 4-2. Evan Summerson and Cooper Ryan led the charge offensively, collecting 2 hits each. Pitcher Brady Bendick struck out 8 batters in 5 innings pitched. And Bellefonte's baseball team is enjoying a great season so far. The Raiders played at Huntington last night and won. Their last home game was a win against Penns Valley this week. Reporter Michael Marandino was there.
Bellefonte found itself in a tight home conference battle against the Penns Valley Rams on Monday. The Rams started the game on a high note, taking a 2-0 lead, but the Raiders tied it at 2. Bellefonte opened the season with a loss, but went on a 9-game winning streak coming into Monday's game. Shortstop and second baseman Tristan Heckman hit a walk-off single that brought a runner home and secured Bellefonte's 10th win in a row. Coach John Clark was happy with the team's gritty 7-6 win over the Rams.
And we have the capability to climb back into a game and be competitive in a tight game. Even when some things aren't happening for us and we're struggling maybe in some different phases of the game, you know, we're able to keep it close and battle through it.
One player talked about the changes they need to make following Monday's game.
We have some areas to improve on definitely, and we can grow in those areas, and overall pretty good game. And I think for the season, like Coach said, looking forward to Thursday. That's the next game, and I think we make it to the districts.
Coach Clark also stressed the importance of making it to districts.
We hope to compete in the district tournament. That's the first line, and you got to get through districts before you can go on to something else. And so we got to put ourselves in the right position here in the regular season.
In Bellefonte, I'm Michael Marandino for the Center County Report.
Next up for the Raiders is a non-conference game tomorrow afternoon at St. Mary's. There'll be some changes in goal for Penn State men's hockey team next season. That's after Oscar Audio announced his transfer to the University of Vermont. Audio spent 4 seasons in Happy Valley, serving both a starting and relief role for the Nittany Lions. The team will likely look at sophomore Liam Soulier as replacement next season, who showed potential having closed out the final 6 games of the season. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Eric. Coming up next, how a diehard Philadelphia fan is using his love of sports to raise money for charity.
When you go to a Philadelphia sports event, you may see a guy named James Paillet, but what you hear is the passion and fandom of the Philly sports guy. Zach Gershman introduces you to the face behind the face paint.
Let's go, Phillies! Yeah!
Ever since birth, Philadelphia sports was all James Paillet knew.
My mother always worked at the Spectrum. So at 2 years old, my mother would be at work working at the club for the Flyers and the Sixers games. So I would sit there and I would watch the Flyers games.
Fast forward, and his mom had a simple message for her son.
And my mother, who happened to be on her deathbed at the time, you know, if you want to do this, if you want to be the Philly sports guy, then go do it.
The Philly sports guy is exactly what Paillet became. He's now known for his look and passion.
My 3 rules are: I don't curse, I don't sit down, and I don't shut up. And I bring it every play of every game all day. And I feel like that embodies the Philadelphia sports fan.
What's up, everybody? This is day 1. This is day 2. Today is day 6.
Today is day 12. Today is day 16. Today is day 28.
But the face paint goes beyond just supporting the Philadelphia sports teams. He is now doing 30 days of face paint to raise money for the Philadelphia Eagles Autism Foundation.
I wanted to align myself with the Philadelphia Eagles any way that I could. What painting my face does, it offers me a louder microphone. However, if you're not using that microphone for good, then it's not worth it.
Raising awareness for a cause that's personal to Paillet is why he's doing the 30 days of face paint.
When you go into hospitals and you do different appearances and you get to see the smiles on their faces, that's what makes it worthwhile.
In State College, I'm Zach Gershman for the Center County Report.
Tomorrow is day 30 of the face paint for Eagles Autism Foundation. And if you're interested in chipping in, Paillet said you could check out his Philly Sports Guy social media pages.
That's all for today's newscast, and it's our final one for this spring semester.
You can continue to follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report Twitter. And you can see our stories on our Facebook page and our website. We'll be back with a new team in the fall.
Have a good weekend.